next step in our process after we get the feet pieces sanded, all right, we're going to take and we're going to mark out from our drawings. If you look come in a little bit closer here, our drawing right here, we have pieces that are 2 inch or 1 inch by 2 inch by 12 inches long. So that'd be this piece right here. All right, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, they're placed on the upper or the top step corners, and then the lower step corner, and then the very back one is going to be placed at the same height as this front step corner. Okay, is how we're actually going to place those. So we'll draw these out so we know exactly where they're going to be placed. I'll mark them. I'll mark the faces that are going to face each other. Okay, so for instance, I'll mark this face and then this face. Go here. Okay, so it'll be screwed in there. This one will be screwed in right about there. Alright, and then this one here will go in this corner. Okay, and then this one will go on the back side here at the same exact height as this one is from the bottom of it to the bottom of the steps. So, okay, so that's where they'll all be placed. So we're just going to draw those out, real simple. And again, I said these are 2 inches tall, right? So we'll just draw those on here. And we want to draw them so that they go in square. We don't want them to be kinked with the slope of the step or any of that type of stuff. We want them nice and square. Okay? Alright, so I'll just show how to draw one of them, and then you'll have to repeat that for all 4 of them. Okay? Actually, maybe I'll do 2. I'll do this front one here, the front of this step, and then this back one. Okay? I'm going to use a square and then my pencil, and I have tape measure. Alright, on this very edge here, again I want to draw out 2 inches, because those pieces are 2 inches. Yep, you can come in closer. Okay, so 2 inches down. Alright, and then they're 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to draw from the very edge of this step in 3/4. Okay, and then I'm going to draw this. I'm going to take my square. I'm going to go from the edge, because this edge is straight. Okay, I'm going to draw this line from the 3/4 mark all the way down to the 2 inch mark. Alright. And then I have a line right there. And that line will indicate me on how to then line up my brace pieces. I put it in there. Okay, and then what I'm going to want to do is I want to put 2 screws in this thing. So okay, so now I have an indicator of where I'm going to take my pilot drill and I'm going to drill for my screws to go in. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go from the bottom of this foot right here, and I want to measure to the bottom of where my board is going to be. Alright, so I'll measure that. We're 3 7/8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to come on the, I'm going to come at the back of the foot here. I'm going to mark up 3 7/8 inches. So that's where the bottom of my next brace will be, right? Okay, I'm in from the edge, and this is a straight edge. This one doesn't have an angle at it. I'm in 3/4. That's how thick my board is. Okay, I'm going to draw this out. And then I should be set to then line up my next brace. Alright, I'm good to go. Now I'm also going to mark here 1 and 2 screws. And then I know where to pilot drill. Okay? Alright, I'm going to do that for the upper 2 supports, and then I'm going to mark the same thing on the other foot of the stool itself. Once we get all these boards marked, these boards marked on the feet itself, up in the corners, down here in this corner, and then on this side, right? And we have both the legs marked. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pre-drill them. I have a scrap piece of lumber. That was one piece I actually forgot in our materials list, so a scrap piece of lumber. Okay, I'm going to lay this down flat. Okay, drill bit that is slightly smaller than the actual thickness of the screw. Okay, I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to drill this straight up and down without moving the drill. If you move the drill, you can break the drill bit off, so we're going to make sure that we don't move the drill around, right? Straight up and down. We're going to drill all the way through on our markings. All right? So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to drill through here. Okay, and I'm going to know when I get through, because the board underneath is a little bit harder than the pine. It doesn't drill quite as easy. Okay, so that's two of them. Now you see here, as I drill, if I drill into my scrap piece of lumber, it's no big deal. Right? Okay, better than into our table or wherever our drilling process is going on. Now notice when I have my hands here, I'm kind of holding the drill with the one and then I move it out of the way, right? Don't have it right close, because you have it right close and the drill bit breaks, they go into your hand, right? So we want to make sure it's off the side. Okay. Now, all those holes we just drilled should be on the back side, right? Okay, now on this back side, what we want to do is we want to take a countersink, so we have another drill bit that's slightly larger than the head of the screw itself. Okay, and we're just going to drill this little drill bit right here just so that the tip of the drill bit goes into the pine. Alright, what that's going to allow us to do is then when we run this screw in, the head's going to countersink and it's going to be flush with the surface of the wood itself. Alright, your drill bit right there. And I'm just going to make the head of that drill bit go past the surface of the lumber. Okay, so it goes just past the surface. And I'm going to do all of them. Okay, now we pre-drill the legs themselves. Alright, so we pre-drill the legs themselves so that the screw goes through it real easy. Alright, and then the braces are not pre-drilled. Okay, the screw will pre-drill itself into the brace. Alright, because it slips through the foot, right, and it threads into the brace, it's going to take the brace and pull it to the foot. That's why we pre-drill the leg or the foot itself and not the brace. Use my screws. Okay, I'm going to start assembling. Now I do this over top of the cardboard itself, so move my materials here. Just going to slide over so I'm on top of the cardboard. And again, this is going to catch any of the excess glue that runs off. Alright? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. Alright? I'm going to take my brace. I know it's going to go in this corner. Okay? I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the brace. Now this will ensure that not a lot of glue, just a little bit, and then you spread it with your finger. Right, wood glue is designed that when it dries, it actually beads up and it comes right off your fingers. Okay. And then I'm going to place this on here. Oops. We'll actually keep that. Before I place it on there, I'm going to start the screws. I kind of forgot. So I'm just going to take and start the screws a little bit. Okay, and this is where you may need somebody to help hold. Alright, so somebody could help you hold this. Okay, so somebody can help you hold the brace at the same time as you run the screws in. Alright. And you see that when I run the screws in, it tightens the brace to the foot itself, and then it'll pull the glue and squish the glue out of the joint. All right. And I'm going to do that for all 4 of the braces, and I'm going to attach it to the other leg. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at it after that. We are at the point of the stool where we assembled the braces. So the braces are now put in, they're screwed in on each end. Okay, making the main frame of our brace of our stool. Okay, then I'm going to take the steps. I'm going to choose the better side I want up. Okay, typically they cup. This one here is cupped like this, so I'm going to put the cupped end up. Alright. Number 1 is I want to take the steps, I want to center them side to side. Okay. The bottom step will butt up to the edge of the stool. Okay. And the top step will line up flush with the back side of the base of the stool. Okay. So what I did was I measured between the outside edge of the step itself and then the outside on this side. Okay, measured that, divided it in half, and I put a mark right in the middle. Okay, so you can see the mark right there in the middle.
Yeah, we can see it.
And then I took the step itself, measured that, also put a mark right on the edge of the step.
Right there.
Okay. I'm going to take then those 2, line them up. Alright, I measured into where my actual brace will be. I drew a line across that. Okay, so I measured, I took a square. Alright, drew the line. And then on top, so we'll look here down on top.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay, I took and I marked off 2 little markings where the holes will be drilled and the screws will go in. Okay, what I don't want to do is I don't want to run a screw in so that it's on the outside edge here where it overhangs. Okay, I want the screw to still be inside, so that's why I have, okay, so I don't want it to come out through the bottom here. I want it to go into the foot. Alright, so that's why I marked this top one here. Alright, in a little bit further than this back side. Now, if they're in about, I don't know, an inch from the edge would be fine, to 3/4 of an inch. Alright, just so that they're in, you know, fairly decent enough so we get enough bite on the base of the stool itself. Okay, so that was all my markings. Did the same thing here. Marked the center. Marked the center of the board, lined it up. Marked here, put spots where my holes will be drilled. Done.
There.
Okay. Now I'm going to take these where my markings are. I'm going to pre-drill them with the small drill bit, countersink them. All right, and then I'm going to take and put glue, and glue. I'm going to lay this on top, run my screws in. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Pre-drill, countersink, glue, 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 glue. Lay this on here, line the markings up, put the screws in. All right. Okay, so.
Be on that.
Again, decent amount of glue. Doesn't have to be a lot.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's just perfect.
Okay, again, I'm going to line my markings up at the back. Make sure it's flush. Okay.
That looks pretty good.
I'm going to take my screw.
Screw it.
Okay, now I'm just going to put glue on 3 edges here. Now, last step is then a short pole.
So that's what it's used for? Your shortness?
My shortness. I'm short.
Okay.
No, see, now I'm not.
You're not short. Now you're short. Not short. Short.
Still